Well, response video to Matt. First, a little bit of whatever business. You know, some of you have been complaining that the video volume has been too low, and it sounds okay on my computer, but I think more sound's getting pumped into one channel than the other, or something else, and so maybe that's the problem. But whatever. So now I have one camera for the audio and one for the video, which is kind of a pain in the ass. But anyway, we'll see if this is better. So anyway, on to the video.
In this conflict between scientism and creationism, you know, me personally, I don't really see either side as holding the entire truth.
Yeah, well, see, you're defining that as the battle, and that's not the battle. The battle isn't between science and creationism. The battle is between rational interpretation of the observable facts and irrational interpretation of the observable facts. So you don't even get the dichotomy right. I mean, yeah, now you're going to play with a word like science and call it science-ism. You know, like it's objective. Your objective, clearly your objective, as if you could be called a scientist, is an end. You want to make the facts meet your desired conclusion. You're going to pervert the truth. All right, but there's nothing in science that's, you know, anything close to creation religion. And you're just being... This is petty bullshit. I mean, you want to play your Dianetics game. You shouldn't play it in this arena, because you should get it from both sides.
I think that the creationists are right, that we live in a meaningful universe that has a purpose.
A meaningful universe that has a purpose. All right, well, now you say, I think. Well, what do you base that on? What facts do you base it on? What observable fact is there in our world that indicates anything like that? Anything like a preordained purpose? Matter, in its evolution, can create a human being, or it can create a smallpox virus. You know, it can create a syphilis microbe. So what are you talking about? I guess smallpox was a microbe too, but whatever. Never mind.
Life is 4 to 3.5 billion years old. And that obviously contradicts a literalist interpretation of Genesis.
Why would anybody even interpret Genesis anyway? Literally or unliterally? We know where the book of Genesis, we know why it still exists. Okay, because a group of nasties, okay, decided that was their faith. And they went around the world and annihilated the rest of the world. They annihilated anybody else who didn't accept their fucking book. They held their Genesis in front of people and said, "Do you believe in this book?" And if they answered the question the wrong way, they were dead. All right, that's why Christianity exists today. So why are you even playing a game with this stupid fable from 2,000 years ago? Why should we interpret it anyway but as a pile of shit, as something less than toilet paper? It is useless, archaic bullshit. It has no fucking place in this rational discussion of the reality of our existence. It is as stupid as, you know, getting the sacred documents from the Flat Earth Society and saying, let's give them another interpretation. I mean, it's just plain bullshit.
Scientifically educated responds to the creationists. They'll often over-exaggerate what science has proven to us and attempt to use science as proof of the idea that all life on Earth is this merely mechanical process.
Yeah, right. And you're saying this that somehow the science doesn't prove that. And your evidence of that is what? What do you have to indicate anything other than that? Are you going to stake your whole bullshit philosophy on the two-slit experiment? Because someday they're going to get to the bottom of that mystery. All right, but there aren't too many mysteries out there, Matt. It's not all mysterious anymore. We have a lot of fucking knowledge, and every single bit of it points to the fact that, yes, this is a mechanical, physical universe, okay? Energy. Energy consolidates into matter with properties. The matter can consolidate into an almost unlimited number of chemical arrangements, and that chemistry over time, over billions of years, can acquire the complexity we demonstrate. Period. There is nothing else in the story, Matt. There's nowhere else for your little finger of God to be poking around.
What I think is that evolution is a meaningful process of unfolding. It is creative, though it was not necessarily set in motion by a creator.
Yeah, again, so what? Yeah, obviously, with the dynamics of physics, okay, and a dynamic universe, one that is in motion, it will create something, okay? But like I've stated, there's no indication that it has any inclination to create in any direction particularly. It will create a fucking smallpox disease. It will create syphilis. It will create polio. It will create lots of things that suck. All right, Matt, period. Plain, no doubt about it. Just suck. Just little malicious, monstrous little chemical machines that do nothing but damage to anything they come in contact with. And it's just, you're just so full of shit to sit there and play this game like somehow the universe wants to create in a particular direction. Bullshit.
And I think it's very short-sighted to think that Darwin's theory of variation under natural selection is completely explanatory of life.
Oh, it's a perfectly adequate explanation of how we got here and how life was created even. I mean, it even answers all the questions. I mean, you just take evolution a step back before you got to a reproducing machine, and it's just chemistry evolving. And it's so patently obvious that this is the fact of our existence. It's written all over it.
Got to explain, or at least come to terms with, how it is possible that individual organisms are capable of self-organizing themselves.
Yeah, well, this is where you go completely out into the, this is like jargon, like some kind of special language the seven dwarfs speak. What the hell are you talking about? Self-organized. There's no such thing. We know what we came from, Matt. We watch it happen in freaking, we watch it. We actually have video of it happening. The cells meet, they divide, okay, by a blueprint in the DNA. It decides what character the cells are going to have and what their little mission for the colony is going to be. I mean, we know where our liver came from, and it didn't come because I said I want to have a liver. No, that didn't happen, Matt. There's no self-anything, all right? There's a machine getting built by a process and a blueprint.
My body is made of matter, and yet it is alive.
Right, and alive means it is capable of consuming and reproducing itself, okay? But it's just a colony of chemistry, just as a chemical compound is a colony of chemistry. And yes, it's a very elaborate chemical compound. It's got millions of communities of cells, billions of individuals. But that doesn't mean anything, Matt. It doesn't change the fucking origins. It doesn't change the equation that created it.
We've got to come to terms with self-organization and what that means.
No, we don't. No, there's no. Who has to? You say we have to. That's like some dogmatist saying I have to come to terms with angels and demons and hobgoblins and witches. No, I don't have to. I don't have to come to terms with any of that bullshit because there's no evidence of it, and there's no evidence of your self-organizing phantasmagorical bullshit.
Is that basically an organism is not a machine, because machines, at least in the sense in which I'm going to define them, machines are put together.
Isn't that great? Yeah, in the sense that you're going to define them. So you're going to take a word like machine, and now you're going to say the only thing that qualifies as a machine is something a human being builds. Okay? Nature can't make a machine. It can't make a chemical machine, can't make a biological machine. Only human beings make machines. I mean, that's your definition, but that's all it is. No, a machine is just a mechanical device, something that's made of something that has a character and is capable of producing an effect. And it's just bullshit for you. Now you're gonna do some more. Just pervert the fucking language so you can make room for your giant volcano Dianetics bullshit.
Whereas an organism grows itself from the inside out, and each of its organs...
It doesn't do any of that. It doesn't grow. What are you saying? It grows itself. It doesn't have a self until it is made, Matt. It doesn't exist before the cells divide. You don't have a self. What you have is a piece of chemistry that has a 4 billion year old written record on how to build the frickin' device.
Are related to the other organs in such a way that they bring forth one another for the sake of the whole.
They don't do forsaking anything. They don't think, Matt. They don't have a mission. They don't have an identity. They don't get any credit. They don't do any of that shit. They're not fucking goddamn individual agents with a personality and desires and drives and ambitions and hopes for their future or any of that fucking crap.